Check
me would
one.
be completions and connections left from last year.
check,
Ski
check, check,
shop
check.
encounter, most interesting. Had his number but never the time. Most of 81 pass along those lines. So deck those halls, trim those trees, raise up cups of Christmas cheer. I just need to catch my breath. Christmas by myself this year.
All right, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the AfroMattt Show. This is episode 231. If this is your first time here, welcome, enjoy. This is the Christmas episode. You came just in time. This is our annual Christmas episode. And if you are returning, thank you for being here and your continued support. It really does. I say it every time, but I do mean it every time. It literally means the most. So I appreciate you. Tell your friends. Because we're in here. We're in here. So, this episode will be coming out after Christmas. Obviously, I have my Christmas sweater on, and I hope that you guys do too. This is the Christmas episode. Gather around the fire, bring the energy to a nice murmur. There's a crackling. And we're just sitting around the fire. You're like in the old times, the whole family used to come out of their rooms or whatever and sit down on the carpet, the big shag carpet, and sit around a giant radio that was like at the size of like a coffin. And they would listen to radio stories. That's the kind of energy that we're doing today. This is the special Christmas episode, the tag-along. Just put me on in the background. We have a nice little cozy vibe, and I hope that everyone had a great Christmas. We've been trying to Yule Max the whole time. I hate to say it, but Christmas is the time statistically when a lot of people do take their own life. And if you've made it through this Christmas, thank you for still being here. I don't want to take it to that place, but I do always appreciate when when there's a little bit of positivity around. We've been trying to white pill. We've been Yule Maxing, and I hope that you guys been Yule Maxing, hitting Merry Christmases on everyone. We are not acknowledging my brother said this. My brother said we are not acknowledging Hanukkah this year. So it's Merry Christmas only. If you say Happy Holidays, choo, 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 choo. That's the meme from that I showed a couple episodes. That's... But okay, so let's bring the energy down. I got a little poem for you. This is my Christmas gift to you. It's a little summary of 2025 from beginning to end. We started this year. Donald Trump got elected, and we're ending the year here with Epstein files and everything. So I just wanted to capture some of the things that went on, some of the things that we talked about, the boo-boos, all that good stuff. So, everything in between. And I tried to put it in a nice, sweet little poem. So we're gathering around the fire. We're getting a nice little crispy, the fire's crackling. Let me get some Yule log going here. Can you hear that? That sweet little piano melody in the background. It might be a little loud, actually. We're bringing the energy to a nice little, we're gathering around that radio. The fire is crackling. I know it's 85 degrees in most spots around the country. And it's like the hottest Christmas of all time. But imagine the windows are fogging up because it's really cold outside. There's a little bit of fog outside. The first snowflakes of winter are falling around. And they're gathering on the windowsill in front of you. And it's Christmas Eve. And you're just listening to your favorite racist podcast. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Okay, here it is. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and at the White House, not a person was spared from a bargain like Faust. Trump won the election, but some think it's not fair. Deja vu questions of fraud still hung in the air. They started off strong, coming for heads. Pharma still wanted us all taking our meds. Epstein, his files were on Bondi's lap. They're actually not real. Now how about that? Diddy went free despite all the chatter. Take a GLP-1, you big fat fatter. The boo-boos came and went with a dash, leaving you all with bundles of plastic and trash. Baby oil, Pokemon cards, and an OF whore gave us all visions of what lies in store. A ghost of Christmas future before us appears. ICVR and homeless and queers. Ice in the morning, ice in the nights. Share them on socials and get all of the likes. Taking bad hombres while wearing disguise. Blame it on Sweeney, blonde hair and blue eyes. At the WNBA, dildos began to fly. Speaking of which, Brittany Griner's a guy. Kirk assassination live on the air to view. Surely this time it isn't the Jews. Gaza and Israel stopped all of their fighting. The beachfront rubble looks very inviting. All that bombing filled the air with pollution. Here's an idea. How about a no-state solution? Venezuela and states are postured for war, and everything streaming is starting to bore. Mr. Beast and Demon Hunters, it's worse than I feared. Can't blame it on them, you'll get disappeared. But now it is Christmas and time to be merry. Smile at friends and conceal carry. There's a joy to be found wherever you go. Hell, open up Kalshi and bet on the show. It's a white pill winter and we're Yule to the max. 2026 will be a great year. Them's just the facts. Laugh about problems, that's how all this works. Or sell out a party, just like Erica Kirk's. The Epstein files are well on their way, and we'll all act surprised when we find out they say that all of the people who are at the top, those ones that make all of our slop, are working together to do the work of the devils. They're making a ballroom with who knows how many levels. Musk, Elon, Karp, Teal, and Fink. Yeah, chat, we're cooks sometimes, I think. We're looks maxing and rating all of our faces. Next year, with us, it's off to the races. Here's hoping a year with no 9/11s. Merry Christmas to all, even the 6s and the 7s. There we go, guys. A little bit of a midnight poem. We're gathered around the fire, and it's a sweet little relaxing Christmas. So that being said, actually, going into the news, this episode might be a little bit shorter. I don't know. It is pretty late, and I know this episode is actually late, but this episode might be short just because I've been absolutely jam-packed with shit like almost every single day. Squeezing in one of these in between like a family dinner or like a extended family gift exchange, then the fiance's white elephant things, and then work like this, like it's chaos. So guys, I wish podcasting could be my only form of income, but unfortunately it's not, and unfortunately I have a pretty large extended family. Got 2 Christmases, 3 Christmases if you include the fiance and her situation. So I'm blessed. Obviously I'm blessed, but it does make doing this hard. So I'm sorry it's late. I do know if I was in your situation and I really like this podcast, I would want it to get out and I would be waiting for the day it does. But it's here. I didn't leave you hanging, and I hope that once we get into news, it'll be worth it for everyone. That being said, literally speaking of looks maxing, we're going to talk about this guy named Calvicular. Calvicular. Let's see. Where is this link? 1 second. Okay, I found it. And I don't know if I can actually show this video on YouTube, because I from what I know, he may have killed this individual, but this individual, his name's Clavicular. It's CLVICULAR, Clavicular. He has risen to the top of everyone's For You page. The algorithm has selected him for this year. I mean, he might be creator of the year, to be honest. Like, he has had a meteoric rise. And he is what's called a looksmaxer, which is someone who smashes bones in their face, tapes parts of their body, injects, peptides and whatnot into their skin in the hopes of becoming it's called ascending. So right now I'm probably a clavicular would probably give me, I have a very negative cantal tilt, which is the tilt of my eyes. I have kind of like the negative. What you're looking for is a positive. It's called predator eyes, or I think they're called predator eyes, or maybe they're prey eyes, but I don't know. But clavicular, what you're looking for are eyes angled downwards, sort of like an aggressive car with their headlights, and you don't want like a bug car with just big like slow downs eyes. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like, what I have is I've got kind of a slow look to my eyes, and I've got baggy eyes. So right off the rip, that probably puts me right at a 5. And then we're talking my teeth. If we're talking teeth, then we're bringing that down to like a 4. So in clavicular's book, I would probably be like a 4.5, hopefully. I do have a good beard. My beard grows in all right, so that kind of probably saves me a couple points. Hairline probably keeping me at a 4.5, to be honest. Eyebrows, non-existent, absolutely non-existent. I literally look like I have no eyebrow. I look like a fucking guy from Prometheus. If I shaved my beard, I would look like the guy from Prometheus, the giant white guy. The Agarthan. So clavicular, he's a guy who like has a course on how to ascend. He'll do a one-on-one coaching with you. This whole part isn't an ad for clavicular, by the way. I don't know if any of his stuff works, but it is interesting that he has become extremely popular in such a short amount of time. I don't know who's sponsoring him, where the views are coming from. He doesn't particularly seem funny or interesting. It could just be girls watching him, sort of a Hassan Piker situation where girls aren't really listening for his insight into political intrigue or his hot takes. They're mostly watching because he's hot, which is kind of a girl thing to do. They watch shows not for the plot, not for any sort of storyline. They just kind of watch because there's a bunch of hot people in the movie. That's literally what happens in like 90% of girl TV shows, is like 2 hot guys, or like a hot guy and another hot guy are fighting over a hot girl. And then that's the TV show or the movie or all of the above. So it does seem kind of maybe girl centric. And he might be gay, I don't know, but he has had a meteor. I'm surprised we haven't talked about him sooner, to be honest, but he has ended up on my radar because he has has killed a man. So he had this guy stalking him on stream, and all these streamers are streaming almost 24/7. I don't even know when these guys get a chance to sleep. They have a guy that they pay to follow them around with a camera, who's switching out batteries, and streaming nonstop to Twitch. I don't know who's watching. Who has the time in their day to watch someone else live their life in hopes of catching some sort of like live moment that might never happen? I assume it's mostly fueled by FOMO. Oh, their fear of missing out. Did you see Speed in China? The goys when they see Speed in China. It is legitimate slop. Live streaming is legitimate slop. You have to just wait, and if it's interesting and worth your time, it will appear for you on YouTube or as a clip or something. It will pop up later. if it's worth any of your time, watching Speed live his life 24 hours a day is not worth your time. Definitely not as an adult. Maybe it's all just children, which is probably what it is. Or once again, girls who don't have things going on. So people are watching this guy live, and he ran over this guy. I'll play the audio. So this guy's like, and he's in a Cybertruck, which will crush people. So he just ran. So he just like bumped, like pretty heavy bump, like he's hit a speed bump, aka a human being, with a Cybertruck, which weighs probably 2,000 pounds. And the girl's crying. Clavicular, driving away. So, possibly clavicular will go to, I mean, maybe prison. Who knows? It is an interesting development. One of the things I talked about a long time ago. It was during the election for Donald Trump versus Biden, then Donald Trump versus Kamala. I talked about Kalshi. It was this app that you can bet on the outcomes of things happening, sort of like a prop bet. Everything's kind of a prop bet. You can bet on this, and people can put up their own bets, start a market. It's like live trading. It's and I think on that episode I kind of talked about how the only thing left for people, everyone wants to get rich quick. Literally our entire life, I've actually noticed this more often with almost everything, is becoming loot boxified. As in, oh, you got the gold one, and then you open up this little thing, and it's like, you got the 1 in 70 chance to get there's this thing where people are opening this tiny little dumpling, and it's like, oh, you got the galaxy dumpling? It's like, people are selling plastic. Plastic gains more value when you put it in a black bag, a black mystery bag or a mystery box. People eat that shit up. So that is, once again, more slop. Gamble slop. More ways to get you to gamble. And, I mean, even the best thing about this is actually you don't make any money when you do open the best one, because you actually have to then sell it on like a secondary market where, once again, the value is only derived from other people. We are back at Beanie Babies. Does anyone understand this? We have come full circle to Beanie Babies. No one would buy a Princess Diana Beanie Baby now. It's worth like $8. I think I have one somewhere. Maybe it's in storage. But I literally have one of the Princess Diana Beanie Babies. It's worth $8. It used to be worth like $10,000 when people were like, oh my gosh, the beanie, you have that. There were families literally splitting up their Beanie Babies in divorce court. There's a picture of like a pile of Beanie Babies and this divorced couple splitting up their Beanie Babies. But we have gone, the idea of collectibles has gone full circle. And I talked about this initially with Pokemon. And now all the people that were invested in Pokemon, the money has flooded from that into One Piece trading card game. If you're not into like any of this type of stuff, I don't blame you for being bored. But this is interesting and this is important because this is going to happen to everything. Everything is going to get collectible-ified. And that is now a verb. A verbified collectability. It's going to be collectabilified, where everything will be a collectible and will be bettable and gambleable. And that brings me to Kalshi. So Kalshi is the app, of course, I told you, where you can bet on the outcome of things, but Kalshi believes that, so the CEO of Kalshi said that she believes that everything will become a betting market. You will be able to do things. So on Kalshi, you won't necessarily even have to use any other apps. You can use Kalshi as a trading app between sending money from if I wanted to pay rent to someone, I would bet that I would pay rent to them, and they would confirm the purchase, and they would say yes, and then the money would go through, if that makes sense. The betting can happen between two people. It can be a private bet, which AKA is a way to send money. So you can do things within a betting app, and this is where they want to take this, is an all-encompassing platform where it's not just betting, but it's actually a transfer of funds. You can do investing, aka long-term bets on stocks. Instead, stocks are essentially betting on a company, investing in a company that you believe will make money. It's a gamble, but with Kalshi, it will be a long-term, it will be an investment into the future. Someone said that, and I think this was maybe a Twitter, but it's like, you'll be able to, Kalshi might even become a DoorDash-like service where you can bet on whether or not your DoorDash will arrive, aka pay money into the DoorDash, and then the DoorDasher doesn't show up, you get refunded your bet. If the DoorDasher does show up, then the payout goes back to the guy who brought it, aka just paying for the delivery. So Kalshi can be this kind of middleman between everything. And I think that maybe I'm not claiming that I'm seeing this before everyone else, because like I said, the jokes were on Twitter and stuff, but Kalshi is the way of the future. Betting and gambling are going to be the only, gambling is collecting and gambling, which go hand in hand, really, because if you're like opening packs, and packs are gambling and all this type of stuff, and the blind bags and the Labubu's and all this type of stuff that takes up space and is just shit, is all gambling. We are going to a gambling-based economy, and it's very obvious to see. I mean, you can't even go 5 minutes in a podcast. Like, I'm not monetized on Spotify, but Spotify might play an ad during this podcast, and there is a 90% chance it's like a DraftKings or like some of the other all the other ones. There's going to be there. You can't watch a podcast. You can't listen to Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast without getting one of their ads for BetKings or whatever, or a automated ad in the middle, like a mid-roll, and then an ad at the end. BetKings, win big, run your game, or whatever the fuck they do. You know, everything, betting has become so standardized, and it's going to be everything. Just gambling, betting, all of it. It's going to be the only thing. And it's driven by the crushing of, and I believe this 100%, gambling is, they always said that the lottery is a tax on the poor, but the crushing of the middle class, I almost turned Asian there, the middle class, the crushing of the middle class has turned everyone into the lower class. So what do people with no hope left have to do? They have to enter the lottery in order to escape what they believe, to escape their class. Little do they know, if they make $2 billion, they will never be accepted into that class, because trash, like a trash person, if you give a trash person $2 billion, it's not going to instantly make them high society, if you catch my drift. They're not going to instantly enjoy lobster or the finer things in life. They might buy all their family trailer homes. That's the sort of situation that you're dealing with. It's not necessarily like the best thing. I mean, they'll honestly probably blow it more on gambling. Oh, let's go down to we can buy the whole casino. Okay. But recently, CNN struck a prediction data partnership with Kalshi, which is weird. One, because CNN is liberal, and weird because, two, Kalshi doesn't really have anything to do with politics. But let's read into this a little bit. Oh, great. It's not free. Let's see if there's a real... One sec. Here it is. This is straight from Kalshi. Straight from the horse's mouth. Kalshi becomes CNN's official prediction market partner. Today, Kalshi announced the data integration with CNN, becoming the network's official prediction markets partner. Kalshi is the world's largest federally regulated exchange, having created and established the predictions market category as a financial asset class. I'm telling you, this is coming down the pipe. We're going to be talking about this a lot in 2026. We're going to be talking about a lot. People and the desensitization to gambling has damaged, absolutely crippled people. They're like the movie. If you've ever seen the movie, what is that movie? Uncut Gems. That movie is about him putting in an 8-leg parlay, or maybe it's like a 6-leg parlay. A parlay meaning each of your bets has to hit in order for the total bet to even pay out. So it's a way to go in with less money but get a more payout with a higher risk. That movie is about a 6-leg parlay, which was like, oh my gosh, he's doing a 6-leg parlay. There are people now, like literally now, right now, there's probably a game going on right now that people have like 12 or 15 leg parlays. Things are not well. They have programs for like the ghost leg parlay. Oh, we'll let you get close, even if we'll give you one free part of the leg off. You can get 11 out of the 12 and we'll give you some money back. You can start canceling bets in the middle of games and stuff. It's so loosey-goosey, and it's the wild, wild west, and it is the only thing. Going forward, we're going to be probably talking about this a lot. There's going to be probably talk about regulation. There's going to be talk about addiction. The number one addiction right now is probably like either porn, alcohol, and gambling are probably the 3 biggest addictions right now, like literally killing people. I think gambling addictions has the highest rate of death. And I think that's even counting like fentanyl. Like, it's actually insane. People kill themselves all the time from just the gambling addiction. I used to have a little bit of a gambling addiction. I was gambling so much on roulette that I was literally gambling under my desk, under the counter at Home Depot when I was checking people out. I had roulette spinning below while I was checking. Think about that the next time you're at a checkout line. That guy's beeping you out. Maybe he's gambling his paycheck for that day on roulette. Things are bad. Things can be bad, and that wasn't even that bad. Like $100 in a spin, it's not that bad. It can be way worse. People do way worse bets, and it's brutal. That gambling addiction is one of the worst addictions because it affects you immediately. Like, yes, heroin, you take it, you zonk out for 8 hours, your family doesn't know where you are, you come home, and now you're addicted to heroin or whatever, and now your life falls apart. But there's something to be said about them not really knowing what's going on and being like kind of clouded. When you're gambling and you lose money, you are dead sober, unless you're also an alcoholic. And in that case, I mean, God help you. I mean, reach out. There's a couple different companies that will like help out. I think there's Gambling's Anonymous or something, but I mean, jeez, that's tough. That's tough for sure. But it's like if you're losing money and you're just betting, you're dead sober. So like every hit is like just a sober hit to your sober brain, and it's just brutal. You're like, fuck, I just lost $200. I just lost $200 and worked for free today. That will get you quit real quick, I think. But this is what they want for the future, by the way. This is what they want. And by they, in this case, I don't mean necessarily just the Jays. I mean them. The ones, the elites, the people at the top, they want... It's literally... It is Hunger Games. Hunger Games has a lottery system. 2 people get chosen at random. That one's kind of like a reverse lottery, but, you know, kind of get a chance to... If you've ever read Red Rising, that one's kind of a lottery system, except that one's, I mean, different in the beginning. So, but all these, it's a lottery system, and that's what we're going to. But let's read a little bit more. Integration of Kalshi data across CNN programming, led by CNN chief data analyst Harry Enton. Harry's an expert at translating the data in polling are saying on a given issue. So they're going to be like, I guess these are going to be like scrolling on the bottom of CNN like, most bettors say that that we will have another 9/11 in 2026. Bettors right now are saying, yeah, they had to get a real professional translator to read bet odds. A lot of Americans right now, most bettors are betting that there will be a collapse in the housing market next year. It's like real nice, guys. Launch of a new Kalshi-powered real-time news ticker. Yep. That will run during segments that feature Kalshi data. Is this legal? Here's an example of what they will look like.
Red Republican District, John Berman. What are we talking about? Well, why don't we just take a look at the past 3 presidential elections in the great state of Tennessee, in the 7th district, in that great state. Look at Trump's margins. In 2016, he won it by 17 points. 2020, 15 points. And then in 2024, Johnny B, takes the cake here. We get Donald Trump winning by 22 points. That's why I say even a close GOP win tomorrow is a bad sign for them, because what we're dealing with is a district that all 3 times that Donald Trump was on the ballot in the general election, he won it by double digits. And last time, he broke the 20-point margin barrier.
I would say if you had to look at the congressional map.
I think is the key nugget on this side of the ledger.
Here's the market odds. I mean, this is insane. This is what politics has degraded to, is the gambling odds. Sports had this happen. This is now like the majority of sports is like... I mean, there's a giant square at the top of all the sports ads, or like all the ESPN channels has the odds, 1,400 to, whatever, 400 odds, plus 1,000, minus 100. That's going at the top of everything. Now your politics, actual things happening in the world right now, are going to have odds on them. And why not? Why not bet on them? Might as well make a little bit of money. Oh, you think that the Epstein files? I went to this is kind of an aside, but I went to my sister's wedding. One of the reasons why this is late, not blaming her, not like it's a bad thing. I gladly went, and I was a groomsman. But during the lunch, when everyone was giving their speeches, my dad nudges me, and he shows me his phone. And it was my sister's husband, so my brother-in-law. He nudges me, shows me his phone. He's like, Epstein files just got released. I made $12. He had like a $1 bet that the Epstein files would be released this year. So he only had really this month left. And it was, I guess, pretty good odds. $1, $12. And I'm like, hey, man, nice. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So, but this is what we have to look forward to. And I'm not even mad because I like a little bit of, why not get a little bit of action in on it? Of course, if you are a gambling addict, it's a joke. Don't get action in on any of this. You don't want, and the worst part is like we have questions about whether real sports are rigged. Right now, I think that was it the Buffalo, the Bills? Someone, or maybe it was what's the Wisconsin team? The cheesehead one. The Packers, I think. I think they had a game where they punted from the 39-yard, or they punted from the 39-yard line. Who does that? So there are serious questions about whether things are rigged, if things are legitimate, if wins are earned or controlled. Several people are currently in an investigation in the NBA for, rigging games. There was a player who was counting money inside of a hotel after his game when he limped off the field, and all of his friends bet that he wouldn't make over or whatever. So there are legitimate questions about whether sports is legitimate now. Imagine betting on politics, maybe one of the most corrupt things ever. You think putting the under on anything is going to be, you think that's a really solid market to be putting your money into? Something that can be rigged easily. Dude, don't let Nancy Pelosi find out about this either. Nancy Pelosi gets her hands on this, she'll be taking down everyone. Copy her bets, by the way. They were showing, there's a guy who works, I believe, for Tesla, and he has a 100% bet history for Tesla bets. So there's absolutely zero regulation on insider trading. It's not trading, it's betting. Insider trading, all this type of stuff. So this is, once again, the wild, wild west. No regulation. How do you even regulate something like this? It's not a casino. It's in the air. It's fake. So yeah, this is, it's just one of those things that going forward, it's going to be strange. It's just going to be something to get used to. And we're going to be talking about what the odds are of certain things happening. We're going to be talking about the odds of what's the over-under on amount of people that died in the... It'll be the next big shooting. What's the race of the shooter? What do you think the race is? Put your best guesses on there. Bet on the race. Bet on the gender identity. Trans, white male, pretty good odds. 10-1 that it's a Muslim, something like that. Those will be the odds, and you'll be able to bet on what you think a mass shooter is. You might be able to, and then this is when it gets questionable, because then you could. I'm not saying you should. I'm saying they could. Two very separate things, by the way. You should and they could. So they could say, Nancy Pelosi knows something that might go down somewhere, throws a bet on there, tosses a bet, shooting somewhere, sets it up, gets her guy out there, shooting, maybe kills one person. What's one person? What's one person to Nancy Pelosi? She just made $4.5 million on her bet. Cha-ching. Cha-ching. You think that's not where this is going? We're going to be they're rigging football games. with no stakes. There are, guys, believe it or not, to someone who watches zero football, there are zero stakes to those games. No one dies. No one gets killed. It's not like UFC where people could get seriously, like if you lose, you could like not know how to talk anymore. Football, low stakes. Low stakes. In politics, when we start betting on the color, gender, time, location of shootings or mass tragedy events, we're going to start betting on, like, while they're counting the death toll of like a bridge collapsing, how many people died. While they're counting how many, while they're still counting the bodies of like the Palisade fire burning, while they're still counting, while they're digging through the rubble, you'll be able to put prop bets. Who died? What streets got most burned? Like, these are things that are going to happen. And it's going to go even farther than that. It's going to be wars, bet on the death toll, bet on the winner, easy, bet on the winner, bet on when the ceasefire comes. You can bet on everything. If you can think of it, you can bet on it. Like, right now, if you go to Kalshi, I think you can bet on whose names are in the files. It's like, oh, easy, Kevin Spacey. That's like a gimme. But this is the future of everything, by the way. And it gets you invested in politics. Who doesn't want a population more invested in politics? And what invests you more than actually being monetarily invested? And then, imagine the fervor you can whip the population up into when the politician that they want to win the election not only is winning the election going to get their team to win, but also they're going to get a little bit of paycheck on the side. You think that a team that loses and then has questions about the election won't storm the Capitol then? And I'm talking really storm. I'm not talking fake January 6th kind of just walking around checking shit out. I'm talking a population 10 years from now that has Kalshi'd their entire, it was like a gimme. I'm talking Barack Obama versus Barack Hussein, or no, I'm talking Barack Obama versus like literally the head of the Taliban. And everyone's like, oh, this shit's a lock. And they put their entire money, all their savings in on Obama, and then the guy who runs the Taliban wins. You've got a big problem on your hands. One, the Taliban is now in control of the population, and two, Obama, the bets, even this is a way that you can get people that don't even want Obama to win upset, because then they can bet on him. They hedge their bets. I mean, I do this sometimes where it's like, I want one team to win, but I'll bet on the other team. So I'm like, well, I want the Patriots to win because I like the team, but I'll bet on the other team so that even if my team loses, I still feel a little bit good. This will happen with presidential elections, going forward. And it's only going to happen the more poor people become. And speaking about people becoming more poor, layoffs hit 5-year high as over 1 million people lose jobs. Layoffs have hit a 5-year high. That's a 5-year high since COVID-19. Imagine COVID-19 when people were they were closing down everything. No jobs. They literally invented work from home. Work from home was like not even a thing before that. President Donald Trump and the Republicans have touted that the GOP as good for the economy, but amid the surge of layoffs and among other factors, including affordability costs, recent polling numbers show that the president could be losing Americans' confidence on economic issues. 38.97% of the Americans said that they'll be worse, that they are worse off financially next year. The last time Americans polled this high was November 2023. Also, I don't know who they're polling. Is this Kalshi? Are they checking Kalshi for this? Is that what they're doing? Yeah, you can bet on, guys, you can bet on how many people are going to get laid off at jobs, by the way, soon. Through November, employers had announced 1.17 million job cuts, an increase of 50% from 761 announced the first 11 months of last year. So things aren't well, people. Things are not well. And this is a combination of AI. This is a combination of companies cutting costs, leaking, trying to release some of their bloat from COVID, release the COVID bloat that's definitely still there. This is kind of everything coming together, trying to make this year look better than last year. Trying to get a little bit of those expenses off the books last second. It's everything happening all at once, and I mean AI plays I would imagine a major factor in this. I just can't wait until people realize, AI can't really actually do that much, and then they have to go back out into the workforce, and then. As a kid right now, the number one job prospect for children, and I'm sure everyone knows this. Like, if you're listening and you have a kid, you probably know that they just want to become a YouTuber / streamer / professional gamer / content creator situation. Whatever that means, if they're like opening toys or doing something online, that's the number one idea. And by the way, that's gambling. Wanting to become famous online is gambling. Unless you are an extreme talent, such as myself, where your, consistency, comedic timing, and general demeanor are enough to carry you to massive success, such as myself. You are just gambling your account into the ether for the algorithm to select you. It really does seem random who gets selected for. I mean, these people aren't interesting. They're not funny. Some of them are very good at video games. Like Jinxie was like top 15 in Rainbow Six Siege, and now he's famous. A couple others are like, pretty good. But it's like the algorithm for some people just selects them. Like, you've been selected. Lottery selected. You just posted. You posted at the right time, caught the right attention. It was the right time of night. Enough people liked it. That comment went viral. All of these things, you've caught it. You just got it, and it's gambling. Posting, and you can buy a lot of. The good thing about content is it's a free lotto ticket. That's what Gary Vee would say. He would say, well, you've got to make 50 points of content a day. He's always talking about, and that's what it is. Hit content is a lotto ticket. Oh, maybe the algorithm will get it this time. Surely the algorithm will get it this time. Also, I'm recording this late at night, and when I get tired, my eyes somehow look farther apart than they actually are, and it makes me look Chinese. Makes me just look a little bit Chinese. What was I saying? Oh yeah, children. Well, besides the fact that children can no longer read or write, which is a whole nother issue, their number one aspiration is just becoming a content creator, which is winning the lottery. Like, in my day, they used to say that if you wanted to be in the NFL, you had a 1 in like a billion chance. So it's like, let's not have that be your number one aspiration. We can toss that maybe 2 or 3, but let's have number 1 be, astronaut. But these kids actually now, that's a rational thing to move because astronaut, they said, well, why do I need to be an astronaut when we actually didn't land on the moon? By the way, there are probably kids saying this. I mean, I thought the moon landing was fake when I was in like 5th grade. I mean, the president took a phone call from the moon. How retarded do they think they are? So kids are, they're not necessarily smarter as in like they can read, but they are smarter as in they can sense bullshit better. So these kids know that there's no reason to become like why would I spend the majority of my life to become a specialized physician in like, oh, I'm a biologist with a specialty in starfish. You think a kid wants to do that? No. If you have a question about starfish, type it into ChatGPT and it'll answer you. You don't want to go 8 years out of college, get $400,000 in debt to become the leading professional voice on starfish. Like, that's retarded. And the kids aren't wrong for not wanting to do that, by the way. They want to become a famous YouTuber or streamer or podcaster. And I know this sounds kind of like the pot calling the kettle black, but I don't necessarily even want to become famous. My life is perfect right now. Like, it's absolutely perfect. I got the right amount of people, you know, get a couple here, you know, got a few on YouTube, a few more on Spotify, Apple, whatever. And we're just chilling. I have a real job. We're just happy. I have a house. I have a dog. Got a couple cats, fiance. Things are chill. I don't need to be famous, right? But that's sort of like the thing. I was like, I don't want to even become famous, really. That being said, I wouldn't mind doing a podcast as the only thing. I would do a lot more of them. That's for damn sure. But yeah, let's move into the Epstein files, and we'll close this out here. So the Epstein files, I'm not going to go all the way in to the Epstein files because, to be honest, I haven't had a lot of time to really dig in. I believe they released like some, oh gosh, Darcy, lay off of me. Sit down. My dog is going crazy on me. Darcy, chill out. Sit over there. All right. So, yeah, I haven't had a lot of time to read the Epstein files. And to be honest, the Epstein files are, at this point, we're getting the information that is just like quotes from the people that were abused, quotes from people that were doing the abusing, photos of people that were abusing or people that were abused. This is all just like the very depressing stuff. I know this is all depressing, but we're not getting any like... Everyone knows now that Epstein was like trafficking children for the rich elite. And, I mean, why isn't Lex Wessner being questioned? Guys, these are the questions that I want answered, is like, why is Les Wexner out and about? Why are even the people around him even allowed to be, you know, just like not in jail or questioned or anything? These are the questions that we have to... I mean, there's tons of people that are connected to him. Let's bring Steve Bannon in for questioning. Why is Steve Bannon, the guy who runs the War Room podcast, why is he pictured with Epstein like 1 billion times? Trump's strategic planners, the political strategist. Why is he pictured with Epstein 1 billion times? Why is Noam Chomsky, famous left-wing like socialist guy, pictured with Epstein 1 billion times? Let's get these people in for questioning yesterday. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying here. Darcy, what's going on? Chill out. But I did get a couple files here that are interesting. Here is one. This is blank told us, and that's redacted. Also, they kind of messed up with some of the redactions here. Blank told us that he liked different faces, so he would ask her to bring other girls. We asked her if she ever gave any preferences of what he preferred, and her response was that Epstein liked girls like her, which is thin, blonde, and attractive. How old was she at the time? She was 15. So blonde, attractive, and young girls like her. I guess we asked if she ever made a mistake or ever brought somebody that Mr. Epstein didn't like too. She said that she had screwed up and that she brought a black girl to Mr. Epstein, and that Epstein was not interested in black girls. But he did pay her and said that he wasn't racist. He paid her $200 for her time, but did not want her to perform a massage on him. So not only was Epstein a pedophile, but he was also racist. I mean, this guy was going, speed running for worst human on the planet. And God, I don't even understand how much was this guy in control of. Every single person, the only person not mentioned is Putin. Like, is Putin the only guy who's not on the island? Like, what is going on here? What is going on? It has everything been orchestrated to traffic children. I mean, this goes all the way back. If you look into the files, this goes all the way back to Iran-Contra. That is like the 1970s with Epstein talking to Fidel Castro. Fidel Castro was connected to Jeffrey Epstein. This is how wide his web goes. They were smuggling weapons through Mena, Arkansas with Bill Clinton, selling drugs and exchanging them for weapons to supply terrorists. Epstein was doing this. Epstein legitimately may have had a part to play in, like, the murder of JFK. Actually, how old was Epstein? He would have been way too old, I think. I don't know. But this is like, just, how far does this go? And is everything connected to Epstein? How can everything be connected to him? And he's at this point, Jeffrey Epstein is alive. I believe that. I believe that Jeffrey Epstein is alive. They released a photo of him, and it does not look like him. Like, his autopsy photo does not look like Jeffrey Epstein. Looks like someone else. It looks like Anthony Bourdain. Sorry. This is a weird quote. During this encounter with Blank recalled being taken downstairs to a room that looked like a horse stall that had short walls where she and other little girls were viewed and forced to have sex with Blank and other men. By the way, why are we redacting literal sexual predators' names? I understand redacting the names of the people that were assaulted, but why are we redacting who was the predator? Can we unredact those names, please? Kevin Spacey, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump. Let's get the names out. Let's release the names. Why are we protecting these people, by the way? Why are we protecting them? Why are we spending government resources protecting these people? It takes time to redact things. Every redaction is like a second. It's time. It's precious time. Taxpayer time. Taxpayer time redacting people that are actually abusing children. Do you understand this? How sick this is? They spent time redacting people that were actually predators. I thought we weren't doing that. I don't understand any of this. Pam Bondi, do your job. Everyone, do your job. We just want one thing, and that's justice. We want Epstein justice for everyone involved. We want these people to rot. She recalled one man in her 30s with brown hair who was wheelchair bound. Sound like someone you know? My theory of everything. I have a theory of everything. Stephen Hawking. Who gave instructions to the other men as what they should do to the girls blank, blank, and berated by blank, calling her an animal and having him take her status because he was perfect. So some really, really depraved shit. Are these the only people available to run our society? I'm genuinely curious. Here's a picture of David Blaine performing magic for Jeffrey Epstein, Noam Chomsky, and I don't know who these other two people are, but it's at a dinner party. David Blaine is there to show him his fun magic tricks. Here's another picture of a letter. This is a picture that Jeffrey Epstein supposedly wrote as his suicide note. It says, let's see. This is written in like cursive. Dear LM. Dear LN, which is Larry Nasser, I believe. As you know by now, I have taken the short route home, aka suicide. Good luck! Exclamation point. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies, and the hope they'd reach their full potential. Our president also shares our love of young nubile girls. When a young beauty worked by the loved to he loved to grab snatch whenever we ended up snatching grab in the mess halls of the system. Life is unfair. Love, Jeffrey Epstein. So, hey guys, case closed. Jeffrey Epstein, his suicide note said, hey guys, I killed myself and Trump's a pedo. So, maybe one of the most insane suicide notes of all time. Hey guys, by the way, I definitely killed myself and just have to go out, hit Trump with a major pedo. Which I'm not saying he's not, but this is an insane suicide note. An insane suicide note. You don't want to make any other statements about life. You've never thought of one. I mean, everyone's thought about like what they would write in a note if they were to do something bad, or like one last thing they'd want to tell their family, or leave one little piece of advice, or say, it's not your fault, so and so. I don't want anyone to feel sad, so and so. This note said that he definitely killed himself and that Trump's a pedo. Very interesting note, by the way. Yeah, I don't want to read this. I'm not going to read this whole one, but this is a story submitted by the FBI, submitted to the FBI in 2020, and it's written by a girl, obviously redacted, who said that when she was 6 or 8 years old, she was drugged at night and driven by her father to these parties, taking to located behind Thorpe Green at the end of the private road, Hurst Farm livery stables in the driveway of his house. Prince Andrew is in this. This is the absolute scariest thing. When this person is 8 years old, she's being driven by her own father. This is what the elite will do to gain status, is they'll sacrifice their own children. These are like, I put in my poem, these are Faustian bargains with the devil. You're literally giving up your children to, this is the end of Eyes Wide. If you guys have ever seen Eyes Wide Shut, at the end of the movie, when their lives become normal, there's like a theory that in order for their lives to go back to normal, they had to give up their kid, and the kid is like walking away with the masked figures in the background. Like this is the darkness that's out there. And that's why we have to stay white-pilled, and we have to be the light everywhere that we go. We have to beam positivity. We have to fight the... imagine this. There's a giant cloud of thoughts that are out there, and people are a lot of times having negative thoughts and whatnot. We have to start claiming space. I'm gonna be honest. We've got to. It's a what's it called when it's a crusade. We have to. It's a psychological. No, it's a psyche crusade. We are launching a crusade into the collective subconscious, or unconscious. I don't know. One of them. We're launching a crusade into there. And it's not even something that you have to work on, or you don't have to fight. It's just being positive and trying to be happy. And honestly, that the worse your life is and the happier you are, the stronger that you are in that crusade. You're a master warrior. I think about that a lot sometimes. It's easy for me to be happy right now because my life is good, but the most important time for you to be happy and trying to be positive is when things are truly at their darkest. I'm talking like Job level, like God. I'm not saying that there is a God or that God is the one. There might be some Buddhists listening or whatever entity you believe in. But like you're like Job in the Bible, his entire family got like killed or like turned to salt or something, and he was still like fighting that crusade up there. So you've got to stay happy, and the best way you can do that is by laughing at everything. I wrote that in my poem as well. Laugh at everything. That's how this all works. Or throw a nice party like Erica, or throw a huge party like Erica Kirk's. That being said, let's start with TikTok time, because this is when we can get some laughs in. Here's one. This is genuinely insane. So NASA had a press call with this guy and his team.
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. That is awesome. Like, we should, as humanity, we should take a brief moment to go, that's awesome. One of the things that we most asked for and look forward to is we are going to do a crew conference between Integrity and the International Space Station, the crew that's up there. And I will tell you, our friends that are on Crew 11 and our friends that are getting ready to launch on Crew 12 are arm wrestling between the station and home to see who gets to be in space when they talk. Like, they're as fired up as we are, and I did not expect that.
So let's run that back one more time. What did he say at the beginning there?
This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit. This is the first time we're going to send humans to the moon, and we're going to have humans in low Earth orbit.
So I think he might be meaning that this is the first time that we're going to have people on the moon and in the orbit as well, but it might be a little bit of a Freudian slip that it's the first time we have actual people on the moon. Here's a good one. This is I have a lot of like Epstein stuff, and we might cover this. We might just do a whole episode on Epstein. We might just push these to an Epstein ep. But here's one. This is RFK. RFK is waging his own crusade.
I'm declaring war on fat gay kids.
I think this might be AI. I don't know if this is AI. The voice might be. I don't think it is though. I'm waging war on fat gay children. I hate them. Also, guys, I saw at Walmart they have a new product called Doritos Naked, and it's in a white bag, and it's the no red food dye in it. So, I mean, they're obviously doing something. They've done something right. So, RFK is on the right track, and he found out that Tylenol is the cause of autism.
Kids, not the kids themselves, but on whatever's making them so fat, gay, and pathetic.
I'm raging war on all the retards and queers. I'm tired of it. Darcy, give me that shoe. I see you grab that shoe. Come on, Darcy. You know better than that. You got tons of toys over there. God damn it. All right, now let's listen to Gary V. Gary V.
My whole life.
I have no idea what Gary V could possibly mean by this.
My whole life is about knowing everything about 13-year-olds, but you're in the jungle with them. I have to watch from above.
And then that kid just says, thanks, man. Thanks, man. He doesn't even know how to respond. Thanks, dude. All right. Oh, here's...
In the fall,
oh, this is real good.
we will host the first ever Patriot Games, an unprecedented 4-day athletic event featuring...
This might be also be AI. This is the point in the world where I don't even know what's real and what's not. Because in this clip, Trump's hands look AI generated and his voice sounds a little bit echoey, which is like a AI thing. But again, I don't know. This could genuinely be a thing. I saw it on the news. I saw a headline on it, but then they could have also been fooled.
Featuring the greatest high
This is posted by Brut, which is, I think, a news organization.
school athletes, one young man and one young woman from each state and territory. But I promise there will be no men playing in women's sports. You're not going to see that. You'll see everything but that. To help carry out these exciting plans, we have created a new public-private partnership. It's called Freedom 250. Working with states, companies, and organizations across the country, we will renew the patriotism, pride, and pioneering spirit of America and lay the groundwork for the next 250 years of independence and freedom.
So what if in the future we have a Hunger Games situation, but the people that win get money for their state? Then it's like a nice, you have an incentive to win. All right, here's one last clip. This is some... I guess I'll say YNs. I think it's kind of what they're technically called. I mean, he's got a Glock on the table. So these are, and then they're saying grace, dear Heavenly Father.
Dear Heavenly Father.
Stop praying.
I want to say I hate that they killed Jesus like that. And I promise, if I ever get a chance, if y'all ever forgive me for my sin, really, I promise you. Like, that's how I feel. I promise you. Like, God, hey, Judas gonna be mine.
Judas gonna be mine. So honestly, I slide, slide for Jesus. He slides for Jesus, and honestly, mad respect to him too. So, that being said, we come to the end. We did actually kind of complete a whole episode here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, please share with a friend. If you didn't, tell me why down below so I can improve. I always try to improve. Hey, Darcy. Wait, hey, Wells. Now my dog is provoking my cat. Stop trying to rage bait. Dude, he's literally rage baiting him. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. I'm going to try to put up a New Year's episode. It might not be on New Year's Day. It might be on New Year, or it might not be on New Year's Eve. It might be on New Year's Day. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening. Goodbye.